So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, we are back today. That's right, we're going to be going over some UFL stuff, right? They did the Q&A. So basically, I'm going to go through this in case you haven't seen it. There's a lot of, interesting questions about the future of the game, offline, online, all that stuff. So we're going to cover that in today's episode, all right? Also, we have got a video coming for you, FC24 fully modded, right? I've downloaded this mod. I've been talking to one of the Patreon modders who's honestly, the mod is insane. Like, there is so many options, it's nuts. And then I just wiped my face. And then there's another mod that I've mixed in, so we're gonna have that coming. And then next week, folks, we are going to be back with Master League, okay? I'm going to finish off the Master League with Man United. I've got to get back to it because I'm going to be as rusty as nails. But we've got to get back to it, folks. So we're going to get that going next week and then finish the season off, and then we can transition into, a brand new season and all that. And I'm going to be playing UFL, folks, right? It's as simple as that. I'm going to be giving this game a bash when it does properly come out because it will be a more polished, refined version, right? Let's see what they've done since the second beta. And I'm going to play it and put some content out. So there we go. All right. Before we do dive into it, please do hit the like button if you enjoy the video. And also let me know who you think is going to be the champions this season. Premier League. Top 2, top 3, top 4. Who do you think? Personally, for myself, it's going to be down, I think, between Man City and Arsenal, isn't it? Again, like the last season and the season before, those two have been the most consistent. Yes, I'm sick and tired of Man City winning it, but, if Arsenal win the league, I don't think any of us could take Arsenal fans anymore. They wouldn't shut up about it for the next 50 years. So that's the only negative. Regarding Man United, I just need some consistency this season. I need no injuries, or not as many injuries as we're getting, and I just want to see consistency. That's it. Play matches, play some good football, stop conceding goals, and have a consistent season. And then next season, maybe we can push for some actual proper trophies. Because I don't think, this season's still going to be finding your feet, bringing in new players, getting rid of some of the old wood, and all that stuff. Anyway, right, let's dive into it. Waffling on for 3 minutes. But let's get into it. UFL, Q&A, we're going to go over them and discuss them. And maybe you'll learn something. Let's do it. Alright folks, so as we know, the game is technically scheduled to come out on September the 12th, as it states right there. And then this was the little trailer that they had. I'm not quite sure if we saw this before. I think we did already. But yeah, they're getting down to the nitty-gritty, folks, of the game itself. And then we'll see what the future holds. Who knows? I mean, look, eFootball had a direction, and they've completely changed their tune. But unlike Konami, UFL, it's a little bit different, right? You don't hear anything about, the CEO of Konami talking about eFootball, whereas UFL's different. The CEO of UFL is constantly talking to the community, telling them, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, feedback, blah, blah, blah. That kind of shows you the direction the game is going. Anyway, let's dive into it. I'm not going to go over these key questions for you. We'll save them for later because they're the juicy ones. I don't know. Maybe they are. But we are going to dive into it right here and get into the questions. Might be a long video. I don't know. We'll dive into it. So the first one is they were asking about the introduction of co-op in the future. 2v2, 3v3, etc. Can you then mix the teams? And all that stuff. They basically stated they're already working on co-op modes or co-op modes. There you go. I've never got into co-op. I just can't. I think it's my issue with co-op is dealing with morons on my team that don't know what they're doing. If they're random, that is. If they're friends, well, then you just take the mick out of them and have a laugh. This guy said, will the game have instant replay feature? When will the game release on PC? Why haven't you added a server in Nepal? Why did you follow the route of arcade football instead of simulation? Man, this guy ain't holding back. And what modes will UFL have on release? Crowd chant, great atmosphere. The UFL themselves said, number one, that you can access replays via the pause menu. Well, has he played the game then? I mean, not everyone has. Yes, it will be available to wishlist on Steam very soon. So those on PC, what is this Ask Grook? Sod off AI. Those playing on PC, you will get a chance to play at some point, all right? They're working on server locations globally, but we need to first secure the territories with lots of people playing. That makes sense. Sadly, they cannot promise a server in Nepal. Okay, this thing needs to go. You need to go, Grook. Grooky Grook. What else? He also said, they said it's not the way they see it. This was regarding the arcade versus the sim discussion there. We prioritize fun, reactive, and competitive product, and that's our goal. We feel like sim and arcade are the two sides of one coin in a football game. It just depends on how you address both of them. Remember, we squeeze a 90-minute match into 10 minutes. I mean, I get that, but still, you know, PES was more of a sim game. I mean, PES was fun. It was a fun, more of a sim game, whether it's 90 minutes or not. I know it's a 10-minute match, but you can still, you know, make a sim. Will depend on whether we release in September or shift a little. There is news on that release date, folks. It may not be set in stone, and they're constantly working on that as well. Does the release date remain the same? If so, will you continue working on the gameplay? What intervals do you plan between the major update plans? Will there be a roadmap in the future? Ooh, a dig at Konami for their roadmap shenanigans. We will either release a planned, or they will either release as planned, or move the date of the community will be asking us. Or, yeah, move the date of the community. We work hard to create a synergy with the fans and be truly community-driven. Love it. Beautiful. That's how it should be. That's one of our cornerstones. And honestly, it should be, right? You literally put that there. Work with the fans. Be community-driven. Cornerstones, all that fun stuff. People are going to like that because they know you actually listen and care. Now, we'll see if this translates in the future. But ultimately, yes, people do want to see that. They do not have any drastic changes in the timeline. Even if we shift it a little, we won't go beyond 2024. So there you go, folks. The game will not be delayed or postponed a little bit more than maybe a couple of months if needed. What is the ETA for the final version? Once again, we will see after the common test. Join the test and leave the feedback. Interesting that they decided that, because they obviously had a set release date, and then they saw that a lot of people were probably saying the game isn't ready, and then Strikers Inc. went, maybe we should wait. So, you know, once again, they're actually communicating and thinking about things rather than just saying, right, it's a half-assed game, ain't finished, let's whack it out. Are you thinking of a nice tournament with prizes when the game is released? We're looking seriously into esports scene, and we'll be prepping stuff around that. I mean, people ain't gonna like that. I know. Esports is honestly, it's not. I don't watch esports. I know I've done a few commentaries on it. You know, those were a bit of fun. But I just feel like esports has just got to the point now where it's kind of changed people too. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to the point now, like, I just want money. And that's what esports is about. That's what PES 21, not PES 21, but eFootball is. It's, you do a whole competition to win like 10 grand, but you don't care how you win as long as you win. But, you know, I understand. I get it. Plus, UFL's got to make money. Will the game be on PC? And if so, when? We already talked about that. He said you may have missed some news. But yeah, the PC version is in the works, and it will be available to wishlist in the coming days. So it may even be up there now, to be fair. Next question. My main question is, how have you guys addressed how fluid the players from switching from jogging to sprinting? It felt clunky often at times. Sprinting was situational during the first beta, but also incredibly frustrating during the counter. The second beta made the sprinting go away. Gookie gook. I don't want to ask you, mate. The second beta made the sprinting button more like FIFA, which is good for counters, but I worry it's going to get buffed to the point where it becomes a counter-attack simulator. And it, you know, I felt that. I do. They definitely did address the sprinting, but yeah, the first beta had a little bit more of, you know, a balance to it. You can just abuse it. We have addressed sprint dribbling and state switching for common test. Basically, it's a new version of the feature. Try using it and come back with comments. Fluidity is a complex factor, and it's not easy to elaborate on it in short, but all in all, the transitions between movement modes will feel smoother. UFL is about progress and updates, so you can expect updates to fluidity on the regular basis. Yeah, that's what we want to see. They're going to have to do a lot of updates. A lot. And that's where this game will, maybe you give it a year. You know, a lot of people will probably come back and give it a bash. Do you plan to play or have online friendlies day one? They said, we do. Kind of pointless. I don't know why people enjoy online friendlies. What's a friendly all about? I hate friendlies. Just like internationals. Will the teams be licensed? Well, there's a list of UFL partner clubs that'll be present in the game. We will be expanding in our partnerships when the game is live. Partnerships and licenses, folks, are different now. It's all changed now. You've got the FIFA, it's not FIFA Pro. I just think it sounds weird. FIF Pro, FIF Pro. You know, you've got those licenses, and then there's team licenses where you can have the stadium and then the kits, and then you've got the own players. I mean, remember, UFL has a database of 4,000 or 5,000 of players, 4,000 or 5,000 players. So it's a decent amount of players to pick from, but they don't have a ton of licenses. So there isn't loads of like real life stadiums. If they want that, that's when you're going to have to spend even more money. Will the player ratings be the same like in the beta? Will there be stepovers in the game? Will there be the possibility to cancel passes in the game? I would love a super cancel feature. That has just made me realize I miss super cancel. This is the one thing that I hate other than when I don't play eFootball. Super cancel for me has become in my DNA. I've been doing it since the PES days, like old school. And the fact that no real games offer that is interesting. Like being able to cancel animations is just a fantastic way because sometimes you don't want to do it. No, this will be updated, so they will continue to update them, of course. Love this question, yes, but sadly not this version. Will there be stepover in the game? I thought there were stepovers. Stepovers? Aren't they the most basic skill move? Yes, we're working on cancel mechanics. Well, that's nice. Cannot yet say. There are some peculiarities around licenses sometimes. If that will be solved, yes. If not, no. About Neymar and stuff. Interesting about that one, though. Yes, we're working on cancel mechanics. I do like that. Hopefully they work it well. Pre-ordered and can't wait. Only thing that's worrying for me is I live in Australia, mate. And, well, we might as well do an Australian accent then. And I really want to be able to play, you know, with my family members in England. I appreciate the connection. Won't be the best, but really hope it's stable enough that we can play together without any serious lag, mate. I know that's an exaggerated accent. Deal with it. One day, I'll do my Mrs. Doubtfire. Oh, I don't know, dear. Kudos for the support. Sadly, a connection between Australia and UK will most likely be affected by latency issues. Give us some feedback on that once you've tried. So I don't know how many questions are in this video. It's going to be a long one. That's what she said. But you'll be fine, folks. You know why? Because everyone's glued to their phone these days. You'll survive. This guy says, what are your plans for UFL Assistant app? Where we checked closed test schedule day one. Will you be able to check our team and buy open skin packs? Depends on what would be day one, August 12th or a little shift. The common test will decide. They have an app. Didn't know that. Is there edit mode? Here we go. The Konami boys are here. Is there some edit modes where we can set up our own created shirts, teams, leagues, so we have seen before in the days of PES? We don't have it, my friend. We have a plan for modders, but we haven't got there yet with our production. We will reach out to the modding community once we're ready to talk on how we see modding in UFL. It requires some time. Interesting, isn't it? They're actually, you know, most companies heavily against any kind of modding. Actually, I think like Fallout is quite a good modded game. Didn't they put a bunch of mods in Fallout that you could use? But like UFL saying, yeah, absolutely, and 100%, why not allow mods to do what they can do? It gives you more eyes on the game. It gives them monkeys. This guy says, are there any other modes planned besides ranked, like training mode, arena, friendlies? They just stated, yeah. We'll find out what. How many players we'll have on the day one on the market? Because on the beta, there's only a few players. Almost everyone play with the same ones. When we start a game, we can choose the captain like the ambassadors. They said it's an ongoing process about the players. The player list will be changing, but you shouldn't expect any significant changes to the list this time. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work. Do you keep your team for the beta, or does it all start fresh? I think everyone should start fresh, just because of, you know, makes it even. Are we going to have an arena to practice feints? Are we going to stay with our beta club? Oh, there we go. He's asked the question I just asked. Or do we have to start a new one? Are we going to have a market for players or just for skins? So he said, yes, there is going to be an arena. Go away, Grook. A new one. Makes sense. Well done, UFL. You listened to me, even though I just said it. There's a player market. It's just not between the users. You don't need loot boxes to get the players only skins. Yeah, they've got to focus on that, right? If this game's free to play, I know a lot of people like to get players, but if they're just going to use these little skins that give you little perks, that's fine. Whether this will change in the future, I don't know, because companies can change their minds. But they've obviously thought about the monetization part of this game, because if they can't monetize, they're not going to be able to keep this going. How often frequent are you adding new players? Also, what's the process to get new players involved? I want to see more Egyptian players and African players in general, as there are a lack of them. It's a hard one to answer in a tweet. Let's put it this way. We will be expanding with player base. But that's a slow process due to the complexity of football licensing. Yeah, it's not that simple, folks. I know people think it is. Just put in X, Y, Z. No, it doesn't work that way. There's a lot of fondling that goes on. Will gameplay follow scripted moments? Are there any plans for a story career mode or any other game mode apart from online? A lot of people will be interested in that. Will there be further updates to visuals, models, animations? Of course there will be. And they said nothing is scripted for a reason. I don't know. I saw some kind of script. The behaviors are programmed, of course, because it's a game, but there are no specific situations where you can expect a set of events with a predefined outcome to be triggered. For the future, yes, we are looking closely into career mode to appear sometime after release. It's a huge amount of work to make it a great experience, so you shouldn't be expecting it soon. But can rest assure you that we are exploring career options. So it looks like this game is going to evolve, which you would expect. And 100% he said for, will there be updates? Of course. Of course! Right, will we have new game modes in the common test compared to the open beta? Right, offline play versus AI will be available. You may also have 1v1 versus friend online as a test, but cannot yet give a 100% guarantee. Stay tuned for patch notes and all that jazz. My question is basically in the beta, there was no button to cancel a pass. Spoke about this before. Will it be in the final game? Another question, the market will just come out to be able to exchange players. Right, let's have a look. Well, we don't want a black market of players to happen, so we're not introducing a market between the users. Yeah, because who knows what's going to happen there. And then you've got to really keep your eye on what's going on. You know, a friend is selling you a cheap player and, you know, and all that stuff. Players are available for purchase in the game's transfer market service. And remember, folks, the way they've kind of designed the transfer market is you can't just buy all the best players. You've got to get your reputation up, which involves you playing more matches, and in turn, you're going to get... So this is where you actually have to play this game for a respectable amount of time to actually have the top players. Unlike eFootball, where you can just log in after a month and they've probably given you a Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar, Suarez, Mr. Bean, and everyone else. The game is significantly updated, but haven't yet updated the cancel mechanics. Will do soon. You know, I've been intrigued to see how they work. What are your plans for regular content from Team of the Week, Players of the Month, limited edition skins? What will make users come back each week? Interesting question. Weekend tournament, season pass, etc. Well, basically, listen, lads, all right? But basically all of it, but the UFL way. Our game is different from the others, a meta game, so just feel free to explore. Our skins, player progression, and battle passes are unique. Feel free to suggest what drives your long-term interest. Yeah. Look, I'm going to tell you this much right now. If you play eFootball and you can manage to play eFootball with hardly any content, then you'll be all right in UFL. As long as you like the gameplay. But yeah, let's not even compare the modes that UFL has compared to eFootball, because eFootball has nothing. And UFL's not even out yet. Can you list down the regions in which the game is available? Speaking German here. Yep, that's not happening. Let's translate it. I do know a little bit of German. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but that's only numbers. The game has been significantly improved in the areas of passing, ball reception, sprint dribbling, as well as general stability and fluidity. All right. Yeah, but then again, once again, you got to take it as a grain of salt, because I personally thought the first beta had more promising things than the second one. So it is possible to mess things up. I want to know about game modes. He said more modes will come. We're now focused on co-op, and that's going to be ready quite soon. Right, I think for the most part, most of these are pretty similar now. They'd like the option to play against the CPU. It will be available for offline play during the open test. Try it out and come back with comments. It'll be interesting to see how the AI actually play, because that determines how well you're going to get an offline experience. I mean, if you're going to have a career mode with horrendous AI, it's pointless. Tiebreak has just come out, right? Tennis game. The AI looks horrendous. Are you really going to have fun playing against the AI when they can't even hit the ball back? I beg to differ. Passing animations were still bad in the last beta. The supporting foot was often too far from the foot hitting the ball. Did you correct it? They said we seriously updated passing logic, reception, sprint dribbling, but didn't go hard on exact animations. So that would be still somewhat present. I mean, animations can come in turn, but yeah, fix the core there. Would like to know if there are plans to add legends like Alan Shearer and the Cantona. Yes, we're working on it. Legends will appear in the game after it's released. That'll be bonkers. They're probably going to be very expensive. I really hope they do make legends exceptionally difficult to get. I don't want a game full of legends. We know which game we're talking about. But yeah, just make them at least you got to work for it. Are we ever getting a PC release? We spoke about that as well. All right, so the final few questions, folks. There were a couple, the main ones, right? These were the main juicy ones, pretty much. Which was, well, you can't even see, can you? You can't even read. Will we have new game modes? That's the one we went over anyway. So yeah, online, offline is going to be available against the AI. Does the release date remain the same? And we mentioned as well, they may change it, but it won't go further than 2024. So there might be a little bit more of a wait time. Other questions was about game modes. More modes will come. We're now focused on co-op, which we literally just spoke about. And then on PC as well. That is coming, and it should be on the wish list soon. And there we have it, folks. So that's about it. I think that's a good amount. That's a good amount of questions we went over there. And the premise there is UFL are listening. They're looking at offline, online, you know, adding legends and career mode and talking about the AI, even adding a cancel mechanic, which I really would like. I really would love them to take, you know, more of a, you know, I spoke about this, more of a manual approach like they are doing with defending to attacking. And I think you'd have a relatively balanced game there. But we'll see. The game will change. It will change. Patches exist now for a reason, folks. Unfortunately, you know, gaming has changed a lot. And companies now, they've got to hit deadlines. And if they don't hit the deadlines, they release the game. If it isn't ready, oh well, we'll patch it for the next few months. And then it will be ready. So we'll see what happens. But let me know your thoughts below. What do you make of it? Will you be playing it? What are you excited for? We will be back. FC24 fully modded. I'm going to have a video for that. And then next week, we're back with Master League. I am going to sit down on Sunday and get back to recording. And then hopefully like 3 episodes a week. Let's get it going, have some fun, and enjoy the season. Sounds good? And also, we're still working on that eFootball Universe file. Still working on the league, so we'll be doing that as well and putting out a new updated option file when that's sorted. Sounds good? Beautiful. I will see you in the next one. Take care.